Alright everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. One thing I hate is when reviewers take too long to get to the point. So today, we're going to keep it very, very simple. Today we're going to be comparing the brand new 56 1.2 millimeter Fuji lens to the cheaper, alternative, much smaller 50 millimeter f2 lens. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I might be taking some portraits this weekend. I was looking at the two lenses. I happen to have both, and I want to get right to it. Now, real quick story on this 56 1.2. This is the new RWR or whatever it is with the locking aperture ring and stuff like that. And this was sent to me by mistake. I was trying to buy the old one that's on clearance, and I paid the old clearance price, but when Amazon delivered this, it was the brand new 56 WR. So guess I got lucky there. Whatever, Amazon's been having issues lately. Nonetheless, I just wanted to take a picture and show you guys the difference between the 56 and the 50 and what the rendering looks like, bokeh and sharpness, and see, is it worth it to pay, you know, $1,000 for this lens at the non-Amazon screwed up price versus something like $450 for the 50 f2. I guess those are both brand new prices. You can get the 50 f2 actually for much cheaper, but more than half the price the 50 f2. Now, some real quick things to consider. This is what the 50 f2 looks like on the camera. This is on the XE4. And if I change this out real fast and throw it on this body, you can see just how much bigger this lens is. I'll take the lens cap off so it's like for like. It's quite a bit difference. I mean, here, look it. It's a lot more girthy, it's a lot longer, all that stuff. And of course, you put the lens hood on, it gets even bigger looking, especially on a small body like the XE4. In terms of weight, it says here it's 200 grams for the 50 f2, and the 56 is coming in at 445 grams, so more than double the weight as well. So double the cost, double the weight, double the size. What are you actually getting? And so I just took two terrible portraits of myself here on my porch. These are Astia out of camera JPEGs. I set the 50 f2 to f2, and I put the 56 1.2 to 1.2 because that's how you would probably shoot them for portraits if you're trying to get bokeh, blurry background type things. And I took those pictures, and yeah, here's what they look like. All right, so what'd you think? I mean, don't mind the crazy poses, and I'm trying to grow my hair out right now, so it's kind of funky looking, but nonetheless, I just hooked my phone up to the app and I did those myself, and I tried to keep similar framing. But a couple things you have to notice right away is that the 50 f2 and the 56 1.2 are both extremely sharp lenses, especially this new 56 1.2 wide open is sharp, which is great, a great feat for you know, a lens that's at 1.2. They're both super sharp. They both focus really, really well. I've heard people say that the 50 f2 focuses better because it's smaller lens elements to move around, all that kind of stuff, but they're both weather sealed. The big thing I noticed in differences between the two is obviously the separation in the background. Now, I just did a portrait shot from here up, and I think you can get separation pretty easy. Where you might notice that 1.2 more than the f2, is in two spots, and it's mainly when you're shooting full body portraits. So if you're doing that for family portrait shoot or whatever, I think you might notice it. Get two things working for you. The extra 6 millimeters, when you apply the crop, is 9 more millimeters, right? So you're getting a 75 versus roughly an 85. So that makes a difference in your separation. Also 1.2 versus f2, again, if you apply the whole equivalency, which I know you guys hate, but you know, 1.2 is like an 85 1.8 kind of, right? Whereas the 50 f2 is kind of like a 75 f3. And so 1.8 versus f3 is where you get your other difference as well. And so I think that's where you'll notice it. The other thing you'll notice as well on this lens is I feel like the 56 1.2 has a the color and contrast is a little different than the 50 f2. Both are good. I prefer the 56 1.2. And obviously you can fix all that in post, so it's not something I really would hang your hat on too much. But the color and contrast seems a bit better. Maybe that micro contrast is a little bit better on the 56, but man, it's pulling. It's it's minuscule. What I do want to say is that if you're on a budget and size is important, get the 50 f2. This lens, it's weather sealed, it focuses quiet and accurate and smooth and fast, and used, you can get it for like $350 or something like that. So it's a third almost the cost of a new 56 1.2 RWR, which is a big deal. However, if portraiture is what you do and you do it out in like fields and you're doing family portraits and you want to make sure you have that separation and that real puffy, creamy background, the 56 1.2 is the way to go, or maybe look at the 90 f2, something like that. So that's it, guys. Just a quick comparison. If you're a Fuji shooter and you want to know, I'm going to do portraits, is the 50 f2 versus the 56 1.2 that big of a difference? Or should I just save my money and get the 50 f2? Now you kind of have enough data to answer the question. So thanks for watching, appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next video.